Mark, if you listen to even the pronouncements by the two political factions, even Azimio has had their own issues. Remember, they wrote to IBC on the issue of the voter register. And remember, the IBC just responded to them the other day that for the first time, we are not going to have a physical voter register. We are actually going to have a digital one. So the question between me and you is, how will we handle that if we've always had technological fails in 2013 and also in 2017? Now, if you come back to Kenya Kwanza, this issue of public servants engaging in politics, 2017, the other side of NASA that now is defunct, led by Raila Odinga and Kalonzo Musyoka, also raised the same issue, where they were saying that public servants, especially cabinet secretaries, principal secretaries, are not supposed to engage in politics. Because remember, they are appointed as technocrats. They're not appointed as politicians. Yeah. And that is why they're not members of parliament. And because of that, the drafters of the constitution envisage that they are supposed to undertake their roles in the public service and not to be seen to be partial in terms of where they stand. Now, the other argument that has been advanced by the Azimio side, and you remember the other day, Paul Mwangi actually responded on this, Raila's legal, arguing that there is no law that bars public officers from engaging in politics. So he doesn't see anything wrong in this. But the Kenya Kwanza side are saying this will be one of the grounds to challenge the elections. I think it is more of where your interest lies, because I'm sure if Kenya Kwanza was still in the side they were in 2017, they will say the law allows the public servants to actually engage in politics.
Right. Yeah. And something else here now from the political field from Taifa Leo as we wind up the review here. And Raila afufua Kalonzo. So, I mean, was it 2 days ago he was saying tafadhali msininyime kazi kwa sababu mkinyima hawa kazi mimi sitapata kazi. Indeed, it has given him a lifeline, much as he was a pain in all the wrong places for the Azimio side. But once he joined, it somewhat has given him, you know, a boost, especially in his region. Or could there be losses in any way politically?
It is actually, I think, very difficult to say that there could be losses or there could be gains. But Kalonzo in Azimio boosts the Azimio strength in Ukambani. Remember, apart from Machakos Governor Alfred Mutua, who is on Kenya Kwanza side, the other two governors, that is Charity Ngilu and Professor Kivutha Kibwana, are actually on the side of Azimio. Now, the other challenge that maybe Kalonzo will face in his own backyard is the other political parties that are also within the Azimio, and you saw what played out in Machakos when Raila and Kalonzo were there, when Waita and Zioka's team and that of Wavinya and Ndeti clashed, because everybody seeks to get a pie of the Azimio leadership. But when he was in Kisii, he made a very funny pronouncement. He was saying, I was the only one they were waiting for to boost Azimio. So I am here. Don't fail me because I need a job. If you don't appoint Raila and Martha Karua, I will also not have a job. But I will just be there as a third in line in Azimio government. So I think this has also rebranded him, because remember when he decided to say that he was running alone, there was so much confusion. At some point he had even said, I'm taking off time to think about my political future. So I think when he has come back a re-energized Kalonzo, who is now focused, who knows what he really wants.
All right. And lastly, the star here, still on Kalonzo, he refers to the Uhuru ICC case in Sonko defense. Would this potentially cause any or ruffle any feathers within Azimio that he is really fighting for Sonko? In fact, he accused the IEBC of bias for not being cleared to run for the Mombasa gubernatorial race for Mombasa. They're arguing is a case that is active in court. So they feel that Sonko should be given a chance.
Actually, the Sonko case is actually in the Supreme Court.
Yes.
The question is, the chairman of IBC has always maintained that the law requires that until you've exhausted all the available appeals is when you can actually be barred from contesting. But remember, IBC itself, in its submission in court, has actually argued on the ICC cases touching on the president and the deputy. And he said that was the beginning of the watering down of Chapter 6. So actually, all these cases that we are facing are based on how the two were able to contest in 2013. So unless Parliament comes up with another legislation that will actually tighten the noose to ensure that we actually block people. But remember, the Constitution is supreme. So the Constitution talks about the rights of the person until they are found guilty. So in this case, as the court exhausted all available avenues to say that now Sonko cannot contest. But again, his impeachment is not a criminal process. It is a political process. Right. So in this case, as it stands, he is impeached and he cannot contest.
I mean, someone watching the clearance of aspirants, one of them being Sirisia MP John Waluke, and he was found guilty of fraud, but then was released, and there was an appeal on the the gravity of the charges against them. So someone might ask, are there double standards here? Then, I mean, not in terms of saying we should sanitize either or, but there should be equal treatment.
I'm not a lawyer, but somebody will say that the law depends on how you interpret it. In this case, he is a convict who is out on bail. And we also have here Sonko, who was impeached, a political process, and is out. And the court has actually not overturned his impeachment. So here is a case where we're having two scenarios, a criminal case in the impeachment process.
They say the law is an arse.
Yes.
I said arse. Anyway, thank you, Roselyne Obala, Political Affairs editor.